Hello, everybody. I was clicking on the go live. It wasn't launching. I don't know why. It's delaying. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tammy. I see both in here. I'm going to throw for Tony first because I was talking to her earlier and I needed to throw cards for her and I wasn't in my office at the time. But I think I answered the question already. But yeah, so how's everybody doing today? It's really hot here in California today. I don't know what the temperature is. I nodded off on the couch and had the craziest dream. Okay, hold on. I'm curious how hot it is today. Oh, it's 97 and it feels like it's in the hundreds, so okay. Anyways, I'm gonna do a read for the collective while people wander in. Where's my other deck? I don't like to use my good deck, the one I read privately for people because I don't want to taint my cards with negative anything negative. The wider right deck here. Let's see what's going on for the collective. I had watched a YouTube video saying that they're reformulating the way they're calculating the COLA for Social Security. And since they've laid so many people off in the government, the people that gather the data to come up with the numbers that they're calculating the cost of living increase aren't there to gather the data. They're just cutting those things, those bases that they use. So it's going to actually lower the amount that they would normally calculate. Oh, Warrior Girl, I'm adding people to the list as we go. Anyways, I said, oh, yeah, another way to screw people. Added increases. So we'll have to wait till October till they come up with the actual full-blown number to see what kind of those of us that are on Social Security are going to get for an increase this year. I suggested that they just use the average cost, the average tariff increase to base our Social Security increase because everything that we could possibly purchase is going to go up that high. And that would be someplace between 10% and 150%. I could use 150% increase in my Social Security benefits. That would be really helpful. What about you guys? That makes sense to me. Okay, this is for the collective. Let's see what energies around us other than me complaining about politics. I gotta quit tuning in on Trump crap because he's getting really under my skin. But I did get the cartoon meme showing that Trump, the Simpsons have stated that in one of their old shows that he's going to be leaving office in August of 2025, and I flipped a copy of that to Tony because I thought it was funny because she had mentioned the Simpsons, and I still hadn't caught all of them, and it was on a short. And I said, well, I know all the other readers out there are getting the same date. I'm getting into July, August is his whole world's imploding on him, and that's gonna cause the leave of office. I said, we must all be right if the Simpsons have now gotten a hit on it because they've been pretty right about their cartoon predictions through the years. I thought it was funny, anyways. Only been awake. I fell asleep for about 20 minutes, and I've only been back awake for about 15 of them. Okay, the center. Well, coming into the reading, we get the Emperor. This is, who's dominating our atmosphere, unfortunately. In the center of the reading, I get the Knight of Pentacles, which is sort of interesting because this is an inactive knight. This is the only knight that has all 4 feet planted in the ground. And of course, Pentacles being a money card, I'm not seeing this as being money being delivered. I see this as money at a standstill. So I don't know that. Yeah, my guys are saying, yeah, standstill. It's not coming. It's not going. It's just is. But it's crossed by the Ace of Pentacles. So try to. What's the Ace of Pentacles meaning? In this reading, I think it's money leaving our hands. That's what we're feeling right now. Probably this reading's triggered by my watching that stupid Social Security program. I don't like to watch them because most of the time they're saying, hey, you're getting extra money. I'm like, I research to see if there's any bills passed saying we're getting extra money. We're not. There's no bills. The only one that was passed was for federal employees, teachers, and firefighters to get retirements that have paid into Social Security, able to draw Social Security now without having their retirement plans reduced. I can't think of the name of that bill, but that's the only one that's passed. There's no stimulus money or bonus money or anything written in a bill that's been voted on that I could find. And I go onto the Social Security website, but I don't know about anybody else. I tried to go in and they wanted me to upload all my verifications. I am who I am, which I had provided a long time ago directly to Social Security. So I don't know why I'd have to verify myself, and it wouldn't let me in. And then the whole system crashed. So I don't know. I haven't tried to get in since then. I was frustrated. What's above this is the nine of swords. I think we're all sort of feeling the political air right now as we're being bound by all these crazy things that Trump's doing right now. But what's lying beneath us is the Four of Wands. So we are still on stable ground. We still have stability as a collective. Despite what's politically going on, we're going to be stable. We're going to make it through this. I do think we're going to have some suffering, especially food, because I live in Tulare County, California, in the Central Valley. I live in a dairy and farming community. We grow everything here in the Central Valley. We export a lot of our food out of the country, but we also export it all over the United States. If there's no farm workers, and mind you, probably close to 50% of our population is Hispanic, Asian, Black, and then white. It's I live in a very, very diverse culture area. And if they're just picking up people and these are taxpayers, mind you, these are people working, that it's harvest season right now. If they take them out of the fields, there's nobody there to harvest. So that food is laying there in 97 to 107 degree weather. That's what our temperatures have been running, rotting. It's not even making it to the canneries to be canned. They will salvage what they can and process it as canned goods. But it's not going to be fresh vegetables into your local grocery store or mine. And we don't even get good stuff here. They ship that all out. We get seconds. We don't even get top of the crop unless you're growing it yourself in your backyard. You don't get the good stuff. It goes out of state or out of country. Except for strawberries, and you get lots of strawberries here. What's showing in the future is that Nine of Swords. This is, and my guys are saying, this is Democrats fighting for our rights, fighting for our thing. I think this is where we're going into midterm in the future. Yes, we are doing a 3-day strike in Southern California this weekend. Where are you, Warrior Girl? Are you down in the LA Basin? Or down? I'm just above Bakersfield. I'm 50 miles from Bakersfield, literally 50 miles north of Bakersfield. But I used to live down in the LA Basin. Okay. Well, where he's feeling right now is judgment. And I think that's his political past, or his criminal past coming to bite him in the ass, and he's being held accountable for it by the people, and he can't weasel his way out of it. He's losing his base because of it. And he thinks he's the king of cups. He's getting all emotional in this because he's trying to cover it up, but nobody's cooperating with him. Oh, you're in New York. My daughter's in Jersey now, but she was in New York. I couldn't imagine what groceries are like in New York, and where everything is pretty much imported, or you guys got a lot of farms in northern New York, but uh, the rest of us think, just like they think California, they think all of us live on the beach. Everybody thinks that everybody in New York lives in New York City, and New York is the actual entire state, not just a city. So, yeah. But I've had many people ask, the ocean from where you live? No, there's a whole mountain range between about 200 miles before you get to the ocean. Uh, from my house, my view's not that good. Um, the advice from Spirit, well, it's sleepless nights, so it's that night, that Eight of Swords. So I think this is how he's feeling. He's not getting any sleep, any rest. He's not controlling the narrative right now. Wow. I hear we have a surplus of uh, California tends to have a surplus. And that Governor Newsom's going to be releasing some stimulus, if you're a homeowner, back to homeowners because of the big hike in property tax and insurance that everybody in California's got hit. If you live in a flood zone or a fire zone or anything, we've got hit statewide. Now I don't live in a flood zone or a fire zone, but my insurance went up this year almost $100, which for every 6 months, $100 isn't so bad. But I shouldn't have to pay for somebody living in $1 million home that got torched by fire. I don't have that luxury. I didn't. I just like I don't think we should pay for people losing their homes that are planted on the beach in Florida, and then they rebuild again, and they have federally backed insurance, and then they get payout the next time a hurricane hits them and wipes out their homes. Why do they keep rebuilding there? That's their choice. You know? I do see that we're going to get a victory out of this, though. So I think once midterms come, and positive once midterms come, we are going to take the House and the Senate. And I think there's already a whole stack of bills ready to go. It's something they've been working on as they're going through. They're rewriting. They've got them ready to go to mainstream things through. Boom, 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 boom. And the first thing they're going to look at, I think, is public needs, public services. Um, it's ludicrous to take food out of the mouths of children, out of school programs, to get rid of education. Uh, it's just ludicrous what this man is doing. He's losing his mind's what he's doing. And he's got a whole bunch of sycophants that are getting something out of it. I don't think all the people in office are rich. I think some of them are quite well off, but I don't think the majority of them are not rich. Um, they're just better off than we are. So, anyways, Tony, we were having a conversation earlier, and I was going to look at the financial forecasts for her. She's during dropping those brand retirement papers. Best decision I ever made. You will not regret retiring. Like I said, you will not have enough time in your day to do everything. And I hear so many people before they retire, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be bored because I'm just used to working. Oh, no, you find all kinds of things to fill in that space. And, but I do when I go to the grocery store and stuff, I told her, because I think it's funny, is if somebody's trying in a hurry or something, I go, oh, go ahead and go before me. I'm not in a hurry. I'm retired. I have all the time in the world. Unless I'm actually like got an appointment or something. I let people in front of me. But anyway, let's see what the financial temperature for you is, Tony, once you're retired. I'm going to do 5 cards here. Okay. The underlying card. Oh, it's an awakening. I love the spiritual cards. So, yeah, you've got a great awakening. And it's funny because I had told her, that was one of the things that once I retired, I sort of reconnected with my spirituality and my relationship with God and things like that. I don't know if it's age or if it's was just time for me to do that, is to reconnect again. Okay, we're coming right into the reading though with the strength card. So you're going to be strong through this, and I'm not seeing an issue coming up financially. I don't have any devastation cards, but I don't have any money cards either, so I don't see extra wealth coming in. But we get the wands of inspiration, the inspiration of wands, which is a transition card with the butterflies, and I am wearing my butterfly shirt today. I keep seeing butterflies all the time, which reminds me of my mom, which is a transformation card. And anyways, this is wands are a symbolism of connecting with spirit, your higher power, your knowledge, your education, your creativity, your artistry. So I think that's where you're going to put your energy into retirement. As right in the center of the reading, though, is that spiritual card. It's your higher self. You're going to connect with your higher self, with your spirituality again. I think we sort of all do this at some point in our life. We get reconnected with um, our religion or our spirituality, whatever your even if you're an atheist, you have some kind of religious belief system, even if it's just in a higher power. Um, I don't think anybody actually has blank feelings about some kind of something above themselves. So, well, there's a few. We do have President Trump who thinks he's God and the chosen one. So, but I don't think the rest of us have that mindset. So, I'm being very cynical today. The next card of the reading, moving forward, is the Death card, rebirth. So, as you retire and settle into that new life and decide if you're going to go for another career or work somehow, explore new opportunities, it's going to be a rebirth. Whatever you do, I think you're not going to just find another job doing what you were doing now. You're going to change directions. Remember, upon retirement, the next job, the next venture is going to be your choice. So, um, follow your dreams. Follow something you love to do. Nothing's better than focusing on something that really just moves you and inspires you. Like, I'm into, when I was working, one of the things I did on the weekends, just to decompress and stuff, was express myself artistically, either cooking or sewing. I made most of my clothes when I was working, because until my daughter was in college, I didn't make that good of money. I was struggling like the rest of everybody. And then I went and moved into management. My salary went up at the perfect timing, because I was helping my daughter through college. But so I never really got to feel it until I retired. That's where the dividends come in, because I got my high three while my daughter was in college, which is what my retirement's based on. Not only the income I made while I was working, but those high threes set the benchmark of where how they calculate my retirement funds. Um, but yeah, I quilt now. I sew still. Sewing was one of my big decompressions, and I made a lot of my clothes. And, um, I don't do store bought clothes real well. T-shirts and things like that. Yeah, I live in yoga pants and t-shirts and sweatpants now, because that is my uniform. Depending on the time of year it is, and shorts, because I live in California. But wintertime, I'm sweatshirts, yoga pants, and all that. And I actually do yoga, so it's convenient having all the yoga pants. But they're comfortable. It's like wearing your pajamas. But when you retire, your finances will not be the same. One, you don't even realize how much you're going to save on clothing and shoes and transportation, and other than when you're going someplace and you're running around. But it's not like commuting back and forth to work. You don't have all those extra expenses. um, and you save a lot of out-of-pocket expenses when you're retired, because you don't have to have the suits and the whatever, however you dress for work. I know you work in business, so you're like me. Dress attire is expensive. And of course, you have to stay somewhat fashionable. That's why I sewed all my clothes. I could afford the suits. And I worked in law, and I was always going to court. So I needed to have clothing. I've been sewing since I was 9. So I made a lot of my clothing, and I, you know, customize it. Now I quilt, and I make sundresses, and uh, just comfortable clothes. I love to cook, and I can cook. I don't do French. I cook some French dishes, but I haven't got into French cuisine yet, and I haven't got into Japanese cuisine. Um, I have never had. I had steak, California rolls, stuff you can pick up at the grocery store, but I haven't actually sat down in a Japanese restaurant and ate Japanese food. So I haven't been introduced to it in that. But I do Korean. I do. I can cook all that kind of stuff. I love to cook. So. And I hear lately, my husband been eating me out of house and home. I have been cooking in bulk. So last weekend, I made 10 quarts of spaghetti sauce, which I turned into and froze lasagnas, uh, stuffed large shell noodles. I stuff them like manicotti with sauce. I made a 6-quart thing of minestrone soup, um, which my husband ate in less than 24 hours. Ate the entire 6-quart. I had 2 bowls out of it, or 1.5 bowl. I was so mad I could hardly see straight, because I went to make myself a bowl for lunch the next day, and it was half a bowl was left. And I went through the roof. I'm like, who eats that much? I mean, Who eats that much? But your final card, Tony, and I'm getting like off track here, is the Magician. So you can create, manifest anything you want to do. And I think whatever direction you decide to go, what you decide to do in your retirement, make it fun, make it enjoyable. Don't take a job you hate. You know, if it's not something you want to do, that you feel like you're time punching and serving only somebody else and not happy in that, don't do it. Like for something out of the box, different. But yeah, you're going to be fine. I don't, no negative cards here. Everything's great. And I showed you, I told you what I was seeing because I was channeling when I was talking to her. So I sent her an email. So you're going to have to send me the numbers, your information, so I can do your numerology. I'm really curious about that because of what came up in that. So I was getting numbers for. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go to my list. It's gonna be a slow day. I came on really late today. I was talking with Tony here, and we were just chatting, and lost track of the time and did get my program, so I just delayed it till later. So, anyways, yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to get Dean to just like send. We can just create a bunch of questions. I could do political readings or something. I channel a lot. I channel when I read, but yeah, when I do private readings, I usually always channel. And that's why I always ask if you want to book a private reading with me, let me have a week or so lead time because I start, you know, especially if you want to connect with the loved ones, because if you tell me, if you'll just send me questions, no details, and the name of who you want me to reach out to, and ask them to step forward to me to connect with them, I will start channeling them 2 or 3 days in advance. And I'll get a lot of really, because I'll meditate on it, connect with them, and then they'll just start talking. And I actually I'll have to get a notebook and write things down because, and tell them, okay, you need to let me go to sleep now, you know, because I'm really open when I'm falling asleep, and they don't seem to consciously be aware of night and day. So yeah, I'll take notes and everything, and I'll throw cards for my readings and everything else. But the messages come through really strong, and you'll know it's them. Hey JR, I'll add you to the list. I would have had Dean join me today, but he is out of town and having a good time with his loved one. So his significant other in his life, they're having a really good time. I did talk to him. I forgot that he was going out of town, and I called him. So I chatted with both of them. I said, well, I'm going to let you guys go so you can do whatever it is you plan on doing. They're doing a little mini vacation. So, and he's on his summer break. He goes back to school, I think, in the middle of August is when school starts back in Nebraska. So, yeah, I'll tell him. He'll be back on Monday, and I'm sure I'll hear from him. Okay. Let's go to the list, and I'll watch for more people coming in. Right now on the list, I got Tony, which I just read, Tammy Bambi, and Warrior, and JR. It's a small room today. Change my time, and I lose my audience. And I didn't go into Brenda's show today because I was on the phone. You're watching 3 minutes behind. You can just push it forward and it'll bring it to real time, Tony. And then go back and watch the rest later if you want to see it in real time. Anyways, I watched it the chat on YouTube because it delays on the StreamYard. And so if I'm not watching the real time chat, I get like a minute and a half delay. So I'd be sitting here looking and waiting for someone to respond if I asked them a question. But anyways, first up is Tammy. First in the room. She's always the first in the room. If you're not getting notices right away when my program launches, if you'll just click on the bell, turn it to no notices, and then click it back on, it will reset it and launch faster. Also, if you hit the like button, it'll get my videos notices out there more, and it will help bring people in the room, which will make for a more interesting show. And Tabney always grabs the number one crowd. I don't know how that works. I just started noticing that on people. So that's a new feature or what. I started noticing that though. I'm gonna do 5 card readings for everybody. Also, my donation button's on. I posted at the top if you want to donate to help support the channel. I really do appreciate it. Like everybody, and I'm running really tight this month. I discovered I accidentally double paid my health insurance bill, which I got that money back. And I double paid my phone bill, which I didn't get that money back, but I got the new billing statement popped up on my phone, so I only owed them $7. So I'm doing it good this month though. So I'll make it. I always do. Can't spend what you don't have. But okay, the underlying reading of the card, Tammy, is the Spirit of Wands. So that is the Spirit of Wands is that Page of Wands. So that's a good card. He's telling you, march forward. It's an action card. Use your intuition, use your creativity, use your education to move forward in time. It's followed by the Two of Swords, options coming your way. So something's going to present itself, and you're going to have choices to make on which direction you want to go. And there's swords, so it's something, follow your heart, follow the truth in your decision making. And you are the Empress. I love this card because I love the elephants. I love the artwork on this card. They're cute, little baby elephant. But the Empress, that's you standing in your power, open to giving birth to all new possibilities. And coming into the reading, we've got the Spirit of Cups, which is that Page of Cups again. And I always call this my go with the flow. It's the animals swimming around in the current. And you can see it's hard to see the imaging on here, but you can actually see like swirls and stuff where like there's a current going through the water as they're catching like a bird soaring in the sky and catching the updrafts. These are the animals swimming in the ocean, going with the current, moving in that current, enjoying it. If you've ever watched a stingray swim, which I have, actually out in the ocean swimming with the stingrays, that's how they swim. They're flat and they catch those currents, and it's beautiful to watch. You also have the inspiration of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. Queens are the inspiration cards in this deck. And your swords are your action cards. Again, that fire energy. This is a queen that rules her household, her kingdom, and her creativity and her knowledge and her strength. With education, she's bright, she's stable, she's very creative in the way she expresses and handles everything. The center of the reading is the Eight of Pentacles. That's your endurance. You're working hard. That's the Apprentice card where you're just working hard. It's going to bring you financial stability. So you're going to work away and move very positively in this period of time. And then you have synchronicity, which is, I love this deck because it has the spiritual cards too. So synchronicity by meaning means that things are going to fall into place like they're supposed to. It's like being on the right path. You're living your right path, and as you go through this period of time, things are just going to fall into place, snap, 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 like they're supposed to. You don't have to work towards planning it out. It will just happen concurrently, just like it's supposed to land. You're not going to be struggling along in this period of time. And you will find justice and balance. This card reads more balance to me than anything. It's justice. Things are going your way, snapping into place, and you're going to find balance as the week moves on in this energy. So, blessing to you, Tammy, and let me know how things are going. Cards back in. I got shuffle decks here. I'm supposed to switch decks, so I'll shuffle these ones. Yeah, listen to me shuffle. I have two of these decks. Oops, I forgot to put these ones in. I'll mix them up. I have a stand that I keep on my. I can keep about 12 decks out. So I shuffle through them and then I give it a quick shuffle here. Okay, next up is Warrior Girl, who is, I guess, in New York, but from California, I take it. Yeah, I'm looking to when we finally sell the house up, I'm gonna be relocating to the East Coast, but I'm looking at going to Maryland. I want to be closer to my grandkids, but I don't want to live on top of my daughter, who thinks I should just buy a space in a nursing home because I'm getting old and senile. Because when when you hit 60, I guess that's the beginning of senility. This is my daughter's eyes. I think I need to put her in a nursing home. Let's see what's going on in your this coming week here. 3 of Cups. What are you gonna be celebrating? Well, you'll be celebrating and being celebrated. Okay. The underlying card is that 8 of Swords. So you're feeling a little, you've got obstacles, but these are obstacles you put in your own way. You just need to untie yourself from the obstacles and let it go. Um, and if something's tying you up and it's not serving you, yes, let it go. Send it back to whoever's making you feel that way or whatever's causing you those feelings because they're not allowing you to move forward. So free yourself from that. You get the Lover card, which is in the masculine because this deck has a feminine and a masculine Lover cards. I'm not getting you're going to meet a new lover. This could be a partnership with your spouse, your significant others, somebody you work with, but somebody you'll be working together with in unity, moving towards something very positive in a positive light. You get the High Priestess, so that's you connected with your spiritual self. There, yeah, High Priestess and a warrior. That fits. So, anyway, so we come into the reading with the first card down, and the reading is at 3 of Cups. That is that celebration card. And I love this card because we're celebrating with coffee, not alcohol. So, and I'm an avid coffee drinker. I didn't even get in here with a cup of coffee. That's how off my afternoon is. I don't normally. I was sitting down listening to YouTube and I fell asleep. Had the strangest dream which woke me up. But and then I thought, oh no, is it after 4? And it wasn't, because I'll do that. But yes, you're celebrating something coming forward. And here's that obstacle card with that 5 of Swords. Again, there is an obstacle that you're going to run into, but realize that this 5 of Swords is followed. Feeling a little isolated out there in that desert. You know, that's funny because it's the 5 of Swords, but yet there's a trophy sitting in the middle of the desert, or which is a weird symbolism. So this is something tied to your emotions, though, is the energy I'm getting off this cup sitting isolated out in this desert. So whatever that obstacle is something that you need to work. It's interpersonal work you need to do, or shadow work, something from your past that's coming up to haunt you, that you need to write it out, think it out, release yourself from it. It's no longer serving you, it's keeping you blocked. Yes, no, liver, me. That's where I am. I give up on men. I'm getting divorced and I'm done. I don't want to be married. I miss being single anyways. I have for a long time. I do single well. I never felt lonely when I was single. Um, anyways, that's followed by, like I said, you're going to be celebrated, and you're going to be celebrated because it's followed by the 6 of Wands, which is a victory card. But in this deck, it is somebody in the spotlight. There's a camera flashing your picture. You're making the news, whatever. I don't see you actually making the news, but it's being celebrated for achievements or something coming in your life. So even though you feel like you're a little bit blocked and things are in your way and you've got to get through those things, you're going to be successful at whatever you're working towards at the same time. So trust in that. And then you get my card, the Temperance card. So, which always leaves me into that position of self-care. I get Temperance when every reader I know reads for me. They will pull Temperance card every time. It's very rare that I don't have a Temperance card in a reading from another reader. I can't pull cards on myself. I can't read for myself. Spirit doesn't let me do that. But Temperance, and you're probably energied like me. You tend to be a caretaker of others. You're always doing for others, but you're not taking care of yourself in the process because you're too busy taking care of everybody else. So you need to be, one, patient. I'm a go, 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 always busy, always chatting, always doing something for others. And I don't take the time to do for me and to stop and rest and to take care of my own health. And I carry everything financially. I carry all the burdens, and I don't always put my hand up. And yes, no is a complete sentence. So sometimes you just have to put your hand up and say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can you go to somebody else? Take care of it yourself. So no is a complete sentence. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Get lots of rest. Don't set up all night doing things for other people when you should be resting. Take yourself out and have a day of pamper. Get your hair cut, have your nails done, or is it a pedi, whatever, I don't do it. A mani pedi. I know a lot of people that do it. My daughter goes out, treats herself to coloring her hair and having a mani and a pedicure. She takes her girls with her. So I think it's funny because I always get pictures. They're all sitting there in the chairs, all like they're queens or something. But yeah, pamper yourself. Take care of yourself. Your final card is that 5 of Wands. And I'm hearing that's mental conflict. That's inner conflict in your head. It's not a real fight. It's something. You've got 3 obstacle cards here in your reading. That's Something you need to work on is that those obstacles that you have, those are personal roadblocks. So the reading is personal roadblocks that you're putting up for yourself. So you need to give yourself a break. I think that's what this temperance is about. Take care of yourself. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't carry other people's burdens, and that will help get you through this conflict card, these obstacles that keeps coming up in this reading. I'm going to drop 5 more cards for you because now I'm curious. Let's see where it's going to take you. If I can pick up the deck, see where it's going from here. Be in the present. So work through that past, those shadow things that are bothering you, so you can be in the present. Okay. We get the 2 of Pentacles. And I love the way the 2 of Pentacles represents balance. But you're juggling while you're trying to find your balance. So you will find that balance, because part of balancing juggling is getting balance of those pins as you're throwing them up in the air. So get that balance. If you don't, it's the warning card. If you don't focus on letting go of the things that are those obstacles, you could cause yourself a tower moment. We don't want that tower moment. But you're not going to have one, because you're going to take care of you first. Then you get the 10 of Swords. This is you finding your light. Yeah, you're leaving the chaos behind on shore, and you're looking out to the sea in that destination, in that light. So your ship is out there in the light. So you will find your way through that obstacle, is what my guides are telling me. And you will get justice and balance back. So that's what we're looking for, is that balance coming back. So like I said, self-care. Start doing some of that shadow work. What is it that are the obstacles in your life? Have you learned the lessons from them? Is those things serving you any longer? If they're not, let them go or find a way through them. You can be your own roadblock, my guides. I have another person I read for all the time that I'm always telling that person, you are your own roadblock. These are obstacles. All of these obstacles that came up in your reading. It's showing you succeeding through them, though, which is the funny part. Is you put these roadblocks up and have to, there are things that you're not dealing with. And part of it is taking care of yourself, which is why I always get this temperance card, because I'm hearing it loud and clear. Self-care is so important. So take care of yourself. Hey, Trenton, I will add you to the list, Joe. But you will get through this. You are going to have success during this period of time. But yeah, do that shadow work. Work on those conflicts that you have, the inner conflicts, things from your past, and let them go. Literally do that severing exercise where write it down, burn it in a trash can outside, or cut it up and bury it and let go of it. Cut those ties that are holding you back. Okay, so blessings to your word, girls. You will be in my prayer. You're going to get through this period of time, though. You're going to have success while you're struggling, but your successes are there. You will find that balance. Stay in the moment. Focus on what you're doing moving forward. Let me know how things are going. You can always connect with me through Facebook. I'm under Kathy Stafford. Same picture as my icon that you see on the page. Feel free to give me a buzz. You'll have to friend me and let me know it's you if your Facebook Messenger is under a different name besides Warrior Girl. Just say, hey, it's Warrior Girl. It's me. And I'll accept it. If I don't recognize your name, I won't accept it, because I just don't go through and go, hey, I'm getting all these friends. And you can be on Messenger without having to have a current active Facebook because I know a lot of people don't like Facebook. I have a Facebook account. People will click on it, connecting with me. The only reason I ever look at Facebook is usually to see what other people in my family are doing because I don't talk to anybody hardly. So I can track what's going on with my distant relatives that I don't talk to on a regular basis, see what's going on in their lives. But other than that, it's just keeping up with family politics more than anything. Uh, I'm so close to my family nowadays that my uncle, that in fact, he's my uncle by marriage. My mom's youngest sister and I are 2 years apart. And he actually tried to set me up with his little brother, but I was actually already dating him. He didn't even know we knew each other. Dating, we met in junior high and we dated all the way through high school until I left the state. But it was sort of funny that his brother was my first love. So I've always we keep track of each other. We haven't seen each other in like 30 years. But yeah, Tom was a good guy. But when Bill passed away, nobody in the family called me. And I was really close to him because he's married to the aunt I was raised with. We were like sisters. So that was weird. And I tried reaching out to Jan. She has never returned my call. I've tried calling her several times. In fact, I had to get her current phone number from another family member because I didn't even have her current phone number anymore. It's weird all in itself. I'm the daughter of the black sheep, and I'm a black sheep too. Our family, since my mother's passed away, nobody connects with us. My sister and I are on our own. We're orphans. But anyways, woe is me. I'm laughing. I think it's sort of funny. Okay, next person up is JR. This is such a slow room today. Yeah, that it really broke my heart. And then I called my mom's oldest sister, and she answered. She says, "I'm busy right now. I'm at the dinner after Bill's funeral. I'll call you back later." Click. Nobody called. She didn't even call me back. I, I was really pissed. I felt really jolted. Yeah. So I said, "The hell with them all." I know where I stand with all my mom's sisters, brothers, and sisters, I guess. And it's funny because I come from a really big family. My mom was one of 6 kids. So, okay. Barbie, I added you to the list. JR, you're up. Okay. My screen is really tiny on this side because I've been looking at a split screen. See, JR, what's your week like? I'm gonna the underlying card of your reading is abundance, the 9 of Cups. You're getting the golden egg this week. So I'd say buy a lottery ticket. No, abundance is not financial abundance, unfortunately. It's just abundance in life. You're not going to be short of anything. Things are going to fall in place. It could be financial, but it's not a guarantee. Pentacles are usually more financial. You're going to get money coming towards you. But abundance, you're not going to be struggling with anything. That is followed by the Three of Pentacles, working in conjunction with others in partnership. And I love that. And the Fool. So you're on the new journey, a fool's journey. You're going to take that leap of faith. And you're moving in a new journey this week. So I love it. And Seven of Swords, you're rising above it all. You're living up to higher expectations of yourself. Okay, you're walking down that road as we come into the reading in nostalgia with the Six of Cups. So you're thumbing through the photographs, you're looking back at your past, assessing your past and looking towards your new future. So I always do this periodically. I will sit down and think about, especially if you're having a down period, you think about, well, what did I do in my past and where have I gone? What have I achieved? Yeah, that golden egg should have been yours, right, Trin Zone? You get all the pinnacle cards. Always get the pinnacle cards. But you're looking down at the nostalgia of where you've been in your past and what you've achieved now. Always pat yourself on the back for your achievements. Sometimes we have to look at ourselves at the past to actually acknowledge our achievements, where we've come to now. We're really bad about telling people we love, I'm proud of you, I've achieved. And we are terrible about recognizing when we do have positive achievements in our life and giving ourselves a pat on the back. So take the time to reassess your life. What have you done? What have you achieved? You are a successful person. And how have you got from your beginning to now? And you're moving forward still. The next card out is that action card. It is the action, or the sword of the Knight of Swords. You're charging forward. You're the warrior. You're moving forward. You're following your heart. You're taking charge. I love the center of the reading card. You get the life force energy. This is another one of the spiritual cards in this deck. They're popping up today. Well, this is your connection with your spirituality, your higher self, your higher power, and being connected and grounded to Mother Earth. So as you're assessing your successes as you move forward in life, and as you where you've been, what you've come to, your successes, this will help ground you in your now. What brings you that abundance is realize that you have achieved abundance in your life. You're not just sitting there on the sidelines watching life happen around you. Your life is in progression. It is just followed by that Five of Wands, or the Four of Wands. It's that strong foundation that's connected with your creativity. This is how you've gained your achievement, your creativity, your knowledge, your education. You have a great foundation, and you know how to reach up to the stars and ride that rainbow to get that success. So recognize that in yourself. And this is what makes you generous, with your final card being the Six of Pentacles. You're a giving person. You're very generous. You believe in charity. Don't always accept it back, but you do believe in charity. And it does come back to you directly or indirectly tenfold. So continue to do that charity work, whatever it is. And charity doesn't necessarily mean handing people money. Charity can come from just helping others, participating in others. You hear of a job opening, somebody that's getting a job, needing a new job, call them up and let them know there's opportunity at this place they're hiring. That's a form of charity. It comes back to you tenfold. So blessings to you, JR. You're on a good streak right now. You're on your new journey. Just acknowledge your past, because your past is what makes you strong in your future. So blessings to you. And next up we have Trin Zone, which I forgot to click on. And then after that we have mixing up my letters here. Marby. I was going to say Marty, and I know it wasn't Marty. Like, yeah, Marby. So, Trend Zone. Here comes all the Pentacles. Should I just pull them right out of the deck for you there? He just likes those Pentacle cards. Right off the bat, the Four of Pentacles, better hold on to what you got right now. Be frugal with your money. But your cards are good. As usual. Well, underlying card of the deck is be charitable with others or accept charity if you're needing help. That's followed by that Four of Wands. I did shuffle these too. You saw me shuffle. They ended up at the bottom of the deck, but I stuck them at the other end, so I don't know how. Well, of course, it looks like I just picked them up and pulled them right out and laid them on the bottom, but I didn't. So, interesting. Okay, coming into the reading, like I said, Four of Pentacles, be frugal with your money during this week coming through. Hold on to what you got. No crazy spending, Gerald. No shopping sprees this month. So hold on to what you've got. Be frugal with your money. Then it's followed by the Lovers, which is the masculine Lovers. This is not, you're not going to find a new boyfriend. And I know you're a man, so I'm not implying anything. No, this is you working in conjunction with others in a partnership. This could be a business partnership. This could be a business relationship. This could be just a friendship where you're doing something together. Maybe just going out fishing or something and taking a little time off. But yeah, we get the Lovers card. You're working in conjunction with each other. Right in the center of the reading, abundance again. The 10 of this one is not the golden egg. It's the 10 of cups. It's that happy family. This is depicted by killer whales, which is porpoises, which are pods. They live in family groups. They're living in those rainbow waters. They're strong. They have strength. They have success, and they have abundance. So, plus, on top of that, you're looking from above. You get the perspective card. I'm getting all the spiritual cards out of this deck now. You're looking at life from a higher perspective. This isn't just the hangman where you're looking at it at a 360-degree angle, seeing what's unfolding around you. This one, you're up in that hot air balloon and you're looking down on the world, not with your nose down, but just getting perspective of what's going on around you so that you can make your next move. And this is allowing you also to be connected with your higher self. You get two spiritual cards here. So you're making those decisions. You're looking at the world from a higher perspective. And you're connecting with your higher self, your subconscious level, that voice inside your head that tells you, yeah, it's time to make that move, to take that option. This is what leads you into success. And I think you're always connected to that higher self because you've had a lot of success in your life. You follow your intuition. And that's where your intuition is. It's at that higher self level. It's that subconscious level that you just pull and know. So great job. No strip clubs. No, cost you too much money. Why give it away? Thought you had a girlfriend now anyways. Have her do a strip tease for you. Good luck with that. You know that charity card? Now, there's a charitable event. Now, maybe if you strip for her, she'll strip for you. I'm just too funny today. this isn't the week to start investing in all those investments either, Gerald. It's just time to watch the numbers and see where they're going. Since the orange one, our beloved orange one, is always screwing with our finances in the United States, I don't think stock is a really good investment right now, unless you're following his tariff, the Taco Tariff Act, and then invest while it's low, and then when he plays with it, get out when it jumps up, you'll make some money. It's almost like clockwork watching him. But I think he's too focused on his past to deal with the stock market right now. But right before I came on, I did read an article. He's threatening to stop the build of a stadium in the DC area for um, the team that used to be the Redskins, the football team. They changed their name to the Commanders, and he doesn't like the helmets and he doesn't like the name. And he's told that if they don't change their name back, he's gonna interfere with them being able to have that stadium deal. But he doesn't actually control that. But he's gonna try taking it over if they don't change their name. What an idiot, huh? And the reason why those teams changed their name is because for years it has been offensive to indigenous people. And I guess that's Trump's shout out. If we're not discriminating against one group or another, we're not doing our jobs. You need to take your discriminatory name back. The man's crazy. Okay, Marby, you're up next. She's sending me all kinds of love too. I'll get use all the love I can get nowadays. Oops, that obstacle in the desert card. Some emotional obstacle that you're going to deal with. You're welcome, Twin Zone. But you'll get over that. You'll move through that quickly. My God, whatever the obstacle is, you just need to recognize it, work through it, let it go. It's not serving you anymore. That's followed by the Ace of Cup. Your cup is going to run it over. So another abundance card. And that's an emotional abundance too. So that's good. And the Action of Wands. And I love this card. It is so pretty. Isn't that great? And the Action of Wands is the Nine of Wands. That's taking charge. That's it. Using that fire energy, that creativity, that knowledge, charging forward, taking actions in what's happening in your life. And again, that perspective card. So you'll be looking from above, taking life into perspective. You're not charging blindly ahead. You're charging with perspective of what's going on around you, making this decision to make your path and to get those obstacles out of the way. So yeah, you're coming into this reading, Marby, as the Empress. So that smart little elephant card. I love the art on this card, like I said before. I just love this card. It's just playful. It's wonderful. This is you're open to any new possibilities. You're pregnant with new possibilities. This is usually the Empress is pregnant. She looks like she's about ready to have that baby, but it's many times her belly will be the earth. She'll look like Gaia, open to new possibilities, opening to birth of new, giving life to the world, basically. That is followed by two cards that came out. The Chariot. You're driving your own chariot. You're charging forward at that old chariot with your own chariots. Once again, more porpoises. The dolphins, very bright, very smart animals, always leading ships. It's one of my favorite things. My dad was a fisherman, going out on the ocean with him in the boats and the dolphins. My dad was a Pisces too, so we always had dolphins swimming with us, leading the boat. They're such smart animals. Also, with this card, you got the Emperor. I love this. You pull the Emperor and the Empress together, so you got some power cards going on here. This is you taking control. This is you standing up, taking charge of your life, of your world, moving forward in a very positive way. So whatever small obstacles you got in your way, you are going to work right through that and move forward. Center of the reading, again, that Ten of Cups, that more orchids coming out of your reading. That is that happy family card. That's abundance, charity, emotional stability. So great card here in the center of your reading. It is followed by the World card, transformation, moving up into that higher energy. Transformation, why? Because the butterflies. The butterflies are transformational cards. Those are moving. That's going from, what's it, Cyprus. I can't say the word. To butterfly. You're spreading your wings, you're flying, and you're flying upwards. Positive. Anytime you get upward motion, you're moving forward in life. So that is so wonderful. And it's ending with the High Priestess. And I love this card because in the background, and it's not going to pick up well on the cameras, but in that archway, there are all these orbs that look like they're moving towards that archway. That's that spirit leading you. This is the card is representing your connection to the spirit, to your higher self, to your spirituality, to your intuition. So that is leading your way through this period of time. You're going to have great movement, success, abundance, happiness in your life. And you got the power cards, the Emperor and the Empress is tying your energy all around you. So blessings to you, Marby. I love the cards. Great cards. So, and unless somebody comes into the room really shortly here, that's all the readings for today. That was fast. I've only been on, well, I've been on for an hour, I guess. It just seems like I'm Gabby today. I'm a chatty Cathy. Isn't that surprising? I'm like looking for my cards are upside down. Okay. Anyways, it's really nice to have got to read for everybody. I am going to start opening up for reading. So I think I'm going to drop in half price to do them for $50. You can pull my email address is, I believe it's guidedlighttarot323@gmail.com. It is on my information page, the About Me page. If you want to send me an email and schedule time, just tell me what time is good for you, what time zone you're in, and I can connect with you and set up an appointment. I will have to double check if I'm still got my so I haven't been in my Zoom program. If I read on Zoom, you can actually hit the record button and actually record the whole reading session. When you do set your appointment, let me know if there's loved ones you want to be connected to. Just give me their first names. Don't tell me anything about them. And if you have any specific questions you want me to address, go ahead and write those down. Like I said, no details. I like reading cold and blind. I get the best readings that way because I'm not, I don't know, making up in my head, I guess. I don't know. I have nothing to perceive what's going on. So I'm going in blindly, and they're the best readings. Your loved ones will come forward and they'll show you that it's them that I have contacted in some of the strangest ways sometimes. I had one person I read for that's mother spoke French. She didn't speak English. And when I was channeling her, I was hearing her speaking French and English at the same time, right on top of each other. But I could understand what she was saying. It was the strangest thing. And I'm like, I don't speak French. I I understand Spanish, but I can't speak it. I have a real hard time learning languages, real block in learning languages. I just lived in California a long time. I don't know what I know in Spanish, but I know I can. My neighbor, he does the same thing with his English. He understands it, but he can't pronunciate any of the words, so he doesn't try. And we'll sit there and have a full entire conversation with each other. And his wife will hear us talking. She'll come out to translate. And then she'll just sit there and listen to us and she'll start laughing and we'll like look at her funny. She goes, I've never seen two people that don't speak each other's language have a conversation and understand each other. And we do it. And he's a nice guy too. He's got a great sense of humor. And I'll tell him jokes in English and he'll just bust out laughing. So he gets up. And I'm always telling him how to trim he has long stem roses. And my grandmother used to raise them in Oregon. So I'm always telling him how to prune them properly. And he needs to cut them down. And I said, off with their heads one day from, Alice in Wonderland. And he cracks up laughing. And he tells me, Alicia. I said, yep, Alicia, Alice, in Spanish. That was funny though. But yeah, I've got really good neighbors. And in fact, they're really interested in buying our house. They put a bid on for the 3 houses behind us and didn't win the bid. So I told them once we had the house appraised, if they're still interested in buying it, I will let them know. I will let them know what the appraisal is. And since the houses in my neighborhood are still selling above market value, above appraisal, they're getting anywhere from 5 to 10,000 above appraisal. We've had a lot of them go into bidding wars. It's a good neighborhood. It's a very diverse neighborhood. But if they're interested, I will be willing to take the appraisal price for it and not put it on the open market. So I'm giving them first opportunity to buy. But if they don't have everything in alignment when we put it on the market, then we will have to market it. And they got so excited. They're like, ah. So I've got 3 brothers that live in one house together. And it's the youngest brother that wants to buy it. And they have she's 3 now. They have a 3-year-old. And I think you're going to have another baby anytime now. It's just a matter of time, or maybe they're wanting to expand, but they're really wanting a house of their own. And then the oldest brother has a 18-year-old son living there. So it's 3 brothers, their wives, and a grown child and a baby. And it's a 3-bedroom house. So that's a lot of people in one house, but they're really close with their family. They have relatives coming over all the time. Very social family, very, very nice people. And so they're really interested in buying it. And I would love them to have it because, they're such a close family. It would allow them to open the fence up between both yards and have a humongous yard, for example. They always having birthday parties and stuff. They celebrate. Um, and they have a lot of family over. And hey, they shut down at 10 o'clock. It's really funny. I think it's hilarious because most people, when they party around this area, they got the music going all night. They keep you up all night on the weekends. But no, they're extremely respectful. They play it comfortably loud. I wouldn't complain. Um, they're always knocking on my door after they've had a party. Hey, we've got tons of leftover. You want food? And I'm like, no, I can't eat meat. I never think about my husband. Well, they've discovered that they see him, they'll give him food because he'll take it. But yeah, I don't. But they're really nice people, anyways. I want everybody to have a great afternoon, the rest of your weekend. Have a great week forward. I am going to talk to Dean about maybe doing some channeling for politics. Um, I will put a couple days before I do it. I will put a in the community page or whatever they're calling it now. I will put a us for questions for political questions. So if you want me to read on anything specific, I'd be more than happy to. If not, Dean and I will make them. He can ask me and I'll just channel this stuff and maybe throw a few cards mixed in with it. And go from there. It's been a while since I've done a straight channeling show, so maybe one of these days we can do it. I haven't done one live in years where, and usually I'm working with another psychic that channels, where we ask first name of the loved one, birth date, first name, and see if we can pull them forward and channel them. That's really fun to do, but I like doing that with a partner because if you're a reader, you'd understand. You pull energy together and you really, really, really connect when you're doing that kind of channeling. When I channel, when I'm reading, though, I do a deep meditation. I connect and then I start getting a lot of information. Slow them down so I can write notes and stuff while I'm channeling. And then I'll continue to channel when I do the live reading with you. So if you are interested in a private reading, though, do send me an email. Tell me what time and day would be good for you. Other than the look at my calendar really quick. I only have one day that I have appointments that I'm aware of. Hold on. I think it's Friday the 2nd. I think Friday's the 2nd. Yeah. No, it's the 1st. I have a doctor's appointment in Port Royal, so that day won't be good, but I have nothing else on my calendar for the month. So my calendar's clean. So anytime, any day, I am in the Pacific time zone. So if you live back east and you're reading at 3, is that 3 o'clock your time or 3 o'clock my time, which would be 6 o'clock your time? So just let me know. You can either send me an email, or if you have Messenger or you want to connect with me on Messenger, I always have my phone on it a lot, but you can send me a text message, let me know you're interested in a reading. We'll connect and work out the details and set it up. And I will make sure I'm connected back on Zoom, because that way you can hit the record button on your end and record it to your device. So if you're using a laptop, it's great because you can record it to your laptop. It'll set up a digital file for you, and you can go back and rewatch the whole thing, which is fun because, when you're doing a reading with somebody live and you're not recording it, you miss some of the details. I don't remember my readings after they're done unless you bring something up that really stood out to me, or you're confirming something I read, and when you tell me about it, oh, you told me this, and that, and it was going to happen, and it did. When I get the confirmations, and I remember them, but I don't remember the readings in journal, even the card readings. A lot of times, Snow Wolf, when if I throw cards to him while I'm reading, he'll ask me later, what did I mean by this or that? I'm like, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it because I don't even remember what I said. I'm that bad. So, anyways, that's just a separation from myself. I'm actually connection with spirits, and I'm not conscious. I'm not working from my conscious self. So, anyways, I love you all. I will see you next week. I will get back on right after Brenda's show next week. I just was busy chatting on the phone. Chatty Cathy I am, and I've been chatty all day. Anyways, have a great weekend. I love y'all.